A privilege and a pleasure to be inviting up on stage the presenter for the session, former CEO of the Investment Board of Nepal, Mr. Radesh Pant. May we request Mr. Pant to kindly grace us on stage. And now I turn to the name of the distinguished speakers, namely IBN board member, Ms. Bhavani Rana. A pleasure to humbly invite her to grace us on stage. We have Vice President, Public Affairs, Communications and Sustainability for India and Southwest Asia from Coca-Cola, Ms. Devyani Rajalakshmi Rana. Pleased to welcome CEO of SAP DC, Mr. Arun Dhiman. A pleasure to invite upon stage Managing Director at the Sino Hydro Sagarmatha Power Company, Mr. Ho Zhang. Mr. Ho Zhang, MD at Unilever Nepal, Mr. Amlan Mukherjee. From Mogha Energy and Subsidiaries, the United States, Mr. Samrath Mogha. And last but not the least, the Director General of FNCCI, Mr. Gokarna Awasthi. Indeed, we are so pleased to introduce to you our host of distinguished speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, the entire object for this plenary is to give you a comprehensive overview of Nepal's investment climate and especially highlighting the key sectors and opportunity for international investors. Having said that, it's my pleasure and a privilege to hand over the session now to the session chair, the Chief Secretary of the Government of Nepal, Dr. Vaikuntha Aryal.
Thank you. Is it audible? Can you hear me?
Can we receive some technical help, please?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Shivani. As Shivani told, this is the session about the success stories that the investors who have invested in Nepal are lined up over here. So they will be telling you their story, how they have been successful in investing in Nepal. But before that, setting the tone and setting the environment, I'd like to request Mr. Radesh Pant to give a brief presentation about the investment climate over here. Mr. Radesh Pant is the former CEO of the IBN Nepal. Before that, he was a banker, successful banker. Now the floor is yours, Radesh.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chief Secretary, Mr. Chairman, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. All the other speakers are going to talk about their stories, and I'm also here actually to talk about story. I'm going to talk about basically on investment board, because one of the things that that I think investors are looking for is confidence and trust in the overall system, and that is the primary criteria why investment board was established in the year 2011. If you want to go back why it was established, because at that point in time, I think the new constitution was due. The political parties had decided that, we need a high-powered institution headed by the Prime Minister that is going to be like a commercial face for the government of Nepal. It's going to be transparent. It's going to have no political, it's going to be non-political, and it's going to really deal with large-scale projects. And that's when, at the end of 2011, that was the time when I first joined. And we've been around for about 13 years. And our main objective is to promote Nepal as a destination, then focus on more infrastructure transformative projects, and of course, provide one-window services. I have to tell you, it's not there yet, one-window services, but we have really gone far. The investment board has gone far, and also PPP Excellence, Center for Excellence. Now, what I like to do first is just compare investment board with other board of investments. It's just to be fair on the investment board, because getting investment is not easy. At all levels, at the government level, political level, private sector level, public-private dialogue. At every level, you got to understand what projects are, and you got to be able, prepare yourself for that, right? So it takes a long time. The gestation is quite long. So if you look at Bangladesh and Nepal, these countries had investment board in their late 70s and 80s. And what we see now is that now they are actually, moving forward with billions. They've reached billions. For Nepal, we started only in 2011. You can see that if you look at the 5-year average USD, smoothing the data, after 2011, after the investment board has been established, the things have taken a positive role, and the investment have gone up. So basically, all this is an evolution, and we need to adapt to your requirements, the investors' requirement, and with innovation. Like currently, for example, with digitalization and all, investment board is doing its best to make sure the aftercare and investor services are really at par. And finally, it requires full commitment of all the stakeholders. By that I mean, at the political level, bureaucratic level, at the private sector level, and even between the DFIs, there has to be development financial institution, there has to be coordination and so forth. So, okay, I missed one, I think, one point here was, if you look at, in 1990, investment in Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh was pretty much at par. But look at where we are right now. So, investment board does add value. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Now, what has investment board done so far? To be honest with you, I think investment board, again, it has allowed people to think about the public-private projects, understanding about investments. That's what it's been doing within the country and outside of the country. It has formulated 2 PDAs and few PIAs. These are bankable concession agreements that, in the future, all the projects are going to have. And then you have also created, partnership model between public and private sector. Digitalization is used. And more than that, over 2.5 billion investments have been there in Nepal, and over 30 projects are in pipeline. Now, let's talk about some of these projects. I mean, some of the representatives of these companies are here, but just focusing on various sectors, the value that it has given Nepal. Let's say, for example, energy sector, the Arunthi project, the construction of that, the Upper Trishuli that's going to happen, Upper Karnali hopefully will happen, and Lower Arun. Because of the PDAs, the global compliance, the IFC's best standards of the world, the export readiness of these projects, cross-border power trading. I think there's at very high levels. We are now going to be able to export to India the 10,000 megawatt that the countries are agreeing upon. The bilateral trade. Not only India, we'd probably end up exporting in Bangladesh. And on the construction side, after these Huazin and Hongxi were established, actually the construction costs have really reduced. The cement costs have gone down. The quality has been enhanced, and then there's export capacity as well. And ICT, if we think about it, if we look at Ncell and F1 software, with them, the services are like global standard in Nepal. The pricing are also very, very reasonable. The digital payment growth has happened. And then all throughout the country, there's nationwide access of these services. And finally, of course, the cashless banking through your terminals. And then the FMCG group, I see more of FMCG as our speakers today. But these companies have been around in Nepal for the past 10, 20 years, or even more than that, maybe 30 years. And they have been doing successfully well. And I think one of our ministers mentioned in the morning, the kind of profits that they're making is also excellent. So, Looking at this with the technology transfer, there's a lot that can be done in Nepal because nothing really that drastic has happened in Nepal so far. So finally, I also want to say, of course, we can talk about good things that the investment board has done in the past, but one of the areas where investment board is going to move really forward is its institutional financial sustainability. I believe just today the president passed this act whereby it can hire its own professional staff. So that's going to really help. This is the slide. And then it would generate its own revenue. And secondly, also the project pipeline development. Here, I think we are, for large scale projects, we need to actually get investments from DFIs to make sure that these projects have international best practices, climate resilient and sustainable. So that's something that the investment board is pushing on the green finance. Of course, I'm not working at investment board now, but I know it's doing the right thing. And the third, the investor facilitation. The DOI, Department of Industry, has one window right now. Hopefully, the investment board will also be able to make all its decisions at the offices. And finally, fostering responsive governance. I think by that, what I mean is that we talked about it in there was talk in the morning also. I mean, people. I mean, at every level, we are responsible for attracting you. At the highest political level, at the bureaucratic level, at the local level. I think that's where we need to make sure that we understand well. We need to share ideas. We need to make sure good projects are selected. We need to make sure good financing occurs. And especially, I always say that for investors to come into Nepal, the government has to do a hatemalo. Literally, you are partners with these investors, and that has to go on in the future to ensure stability, predictability, and so on. So finally, I'd like to say, IBN is forward bound. It's going to be there for you, and there are really boundless opportunities for you investors in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Radesh, and thank you very much for your very short but comprehensive presentation. And it has definitely set the tone for the discussion. Now I'd like to introduce Ms. Bhavani Rana. She is currently the member of the Investment Board of Nepal, and she is former president of FNCCI, Federation of Nepalese Chambers and Commerce Industry of Nepal. Sorry, and she is not only the former president, but she is the only one lady president so far. So give her a very big applause. And she is the honorary consul of Tunisia also. And she is engaged in many businesses, including the tourism management and all this. She has the vast experiences in all these things. So I'd like to request Ms. Bhavani to tell about your story, not only the story about yourself, but also the overall environment that the private sector is facing over here. If you wish, you can go there. Otherwise, I can hand you the mic over here. And the time is limited to 3 to 5 minutes max.
Chair of this session, distinguished speakers, and ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I'm really honored to be invited as a speaker in this session and quote success stories of investment in Nepal in this important Nepal Investment Summit. So on behalf of private sector, I would like to appreciate IBM and also Nepalese government for taking special initiative to organize investment summit in post-COVID scenario and also to energize the local and international investors. The fast-changing global regional economic scenario, we need to broaden our relation to benefit from opportunity which are rising and also to address new challenges in investment landscape. So Nepal government has given a very high priority for the economic growth, and also we are working very closely, the private sector, with the government, especially organizing this summit also. So before the summit, the private sector of Nepal, we had given some suggestion to the government. We went to the Prime Minister, the Chief Secretary is here, and then we asked them, we requested that before organizing this summit, we need to at least, there are 12 acts which really challenges, and there are a lot of constraints for not only the local international investors also to invest in Nepal. So they recognize our recommendation and request also. So Government of Nepal heeded our recommendation and accordingly amended the laws and passed by the cabinet. And then we are very happy to announce that today, this morning only, this act was passed by the President ordinance. So I think it's we should really embrace this moment and go further. And then private sector, we are working very closely with the government, even during the budget, like we have a fiscal budget every year. So our recommendation has been incorporated by the government also. And last year budget, there was a lot of positive steps where we could bring FDI also. So I think the speakers in the morning also, and then previous session also, they've already explained that the areas of investment in Nepal, we have a very, very high scope. It's a virgin land. So there are sectors, agriculture, agro sector, industry, lot of education, healthcare and all. And why we feel not only like being a private sector from Nepal, like we really feel that Nepal is a place where we want to invest. And for me also, I want to expand my business. I want to see the new avenues where I could expand my business and start a business, because I think the economy is very resilient, because we can quickly recover from any kind of pandemic also, or even like we saw so many changes the last 30 years, different political changes also, and even insurgency, earthquake, but still, like it's very resilient. So that's why it's a very prominent place where we could invest. Our low inflation rate and strong foreign exchange reserves are two important components of the stable economy. Nepal has significant export market. I think we have two neighboring countries where we could really export our stuff. So this is very enticing for us. Our middle class is also growing, indicating an emerging market. So there are a lot of major changes of the laws and acts. Like 15 years back, it was a little difficult in the industry, because we used to have lots of debates with the laborers also, labor union, trade union and all. But now we have a labor act, which is very, very strong and positive for the employers also. So it really feels that now we don't have any strike, and then the relation between the labor and the employers and employees are very conducive. So that is also very promising. PPD Act is also there, FITA Act for foreign investment, and then there are a lot of examples of Indian industry and other industries which have been here since more than 20 years are doing very well. We'll be hearing from Unilever also, Everest Bank, SBI Bank, even like Dabur also, and then Gorkha Brewery, other banks like Standard Chartered, Encel, all of them, like they take back a very, very good dividends every year. Then we have natural resources, which is unexplored. So we are really looking for partners also to explore these natural resources, and then we can convert this into wealth, which can be beneficial for both, even the local investors and the international investors. We have average age 24-year-old, very youth population. They are like a vast ocean of unrealized potential. And energy sector, I think we've already mentioned. Hospitality is also a very promising center, and government is doing a lot in hospitality sector. Our international airport has been modernized as per private sector's request, and two more new international airports. One is in Bhairava, Lumbini Airport, and Pokhara Airport has been established. So this really gives like a connectivity, not only international, but city to city, even connectivity has started. So I also belong from the tourism sector. I have a hotel. So I've expanded my hotel, because seeing the promising scenario of the country, and also like starting a resort, because due to this connectivity and the infrastructure which is really growing, I think we can have a very good tourism destination for Nepal. Natural resources, we have a different, from Himalayas to wildlife to different kind of tourism. So that's why I think I'm expanding and still looking to expand in different areas where the government has also given a priority for tax holiday for 10 years. If you go to some of the like virgin land, like far west and all, where you could explore different kind of tourism. Another one is digital economy, which is also very, very promising. And I think integration of digital payment system with India and as well as China can tremendously increase the ease of doing business as well as boost tourism and trade sector of Nepal. Recently, the government of Nepal has unveiled the 16th five-year plan with 40 goals. And starting from mid-July, the plan targets 7.1 economic growth, which is very, I think, which is very positive. And Nepal is also graduating from least development country to developing country, which moved this to the prosperity ladder also. So we need a lot of investment in infrastructure sector and manufacturing sector also. I think the Nepalese private sector also looking for the partnership for the joint venture in this sector, which is very in a priority list for the government also. And another very promising and attractive thing of Nepal is like government approach. You know, like we could approach the government very easily. If we have some problem, like while doing business, like sometimes you have some challenges, some small nitty-gritty problems, but we have a very easy access, not only with the bureaucrats, the chief secretary is there, we run to him, even with the secretary, related secretary, ministers, and even the prime minister. And this access is not only for local investors, I think it's for the international investors also. So that is very promising, which you don't get in other countries, I think. And one window system has been established in Ministry of Industry, which is kind of a mediation center for the private sector and the government. And repatriation of the profit by the investors has been simplified by the central bank also. And of course, IBM is very active and proactive on identifying the new profitable project and also to facilitate them in every step also. So because of all these things, I think Nepalese investors are very, very encouraged to invest in further many untapped sectors of Nepal. So recently I've also started to manufacture the syringe, the health product, syringe and gloves and many more health products because I see the potential in Nepal and slowly maybe we could export. So that's why I think I urge everyone, whoever I hear, to come and invest in Nepal because I think it's a virgin country and we all are there. I think private sector from Nepal like Federation of Nepalese Chamber of Commerce, CNI and other related organizations as well as IBM and Industry Ministry. Of course, the government will be delighted to help you, facilitate you in every step of investment ventured in Nepal. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhavaniji, for highlighting almost all sectors. And thank you very much that you told your own history also, and all the best for your endeavors. Now, I'd like to invite Ms. Devyani Rajyalakshmi Rana. She is the Vice President of Public Affairs, Communications and Sustainability at Coca-Cola India and Southwest Asia. She brings over 28 years of experience in government and corporate affairs, strategic advocacy, risk management, and CSR. So now, floor is yours, Devyani, and please try to be brief, as brief as possible.
Good afternoon and namaskar to each and every one of you. I know it's been a long day. I hope you managed to get some lunch and some refreshment. I'd like to start straight away and keep to the time that the Honorable Chief Secretary has told us to keep to. And with that, I'd like to say a very warm welcome to all our distinguished panel. It's wonderful to have you in Nepal. I happen to be from Nepal, so I'm very proud to be a part of this Nepal Investment Summit 2024. And thank you, Nepal Investment Board and the Ministry for inviting me. So it's a privilege to represent the Coca-Cola Company in the Nepal Investment Summit. I don't know if you all know, Coca-Cola as a company has been operating in Nepal for over 50 years. In fact, this is our 51st year. We are obviously very, very committed to the socio-economic progress of Nepal. I wanted to start by sharing a little bit of our story. So we started in 1973, and we are very much a part of the country's social and economic fabric. So we are probably one of the biggest FMCG companies, along with our counterparts who are here on the panel. We started 5 decades ago, and as an American company, during those days, it was a very bold move because the institutional value change and logistics was not fully developed at that time. But we had confidence in Nepal. And for over 5 decades, the company has developed a very strong partnership. We have 2 bottling plants, one in Kathmandu and the other one in Bharatpur. We've also have various ways we develop and celebrate our occasions across millions of people in Nepal. Through our drinks, our brands, we've celebrated with families, with national events, creating lasting memories and forging meaningful connections amongst the Nepali people. So we've been investing, just in the last few years, we've invested $80 million, and we will continue to invest. Coca-Cola is among one of the highest taxpayers in the country. We have over 240 distributors, 125,000 retail outlets across the country, and we have direct and indirect employment of more than 6,000 employees. I'd like to explain a little bit about what I mean by that. When you have, as a FMCG company, and my HUL respected colleague is here, he will explain further to you. Every one personnel that we have in our facilities, in our offices, is equivalent to 10 more. Because we have transportation networks, we have supply chain networks, we have our retailer networks, and literally every retailer, when we give the cooler and we do the training, we make them into entrepreneurs, small, medium, big. And that's what we do as manufacturing. So when you manufacture at the FMCG level, you also create work for the blue-collar worker and not just the white-collar worker, which is very, very important in a country like Nepal. Now, Coca-Cola is not just that, it's also a very responsible business. We supported the people of Nepal throughout the times of the 2015 earthquake with our ferry Utnecha Nepal. We also did the projects to stop the spread during COVID. And we have the Coca-Cola Foundation, which is based out of Atlanta, and every year we support many, many projects in terms of sustainable access to water, climate resilience, circular economy, which basically means waste management, and specifically plastic waste management, economic empowerment to not just our retailers, but to women across Nepal, and we respond to disasters, whether it's in Jajarkot or across Nepal. The Coca-Cola Foundation has not just worked with the international NGOs, but with Nepalese NGOs for a very long time. In fact, for the last 3 years, from 2021 to 23, we were proud to be a partner and sponsor of the mountain cleanup program with the Nepalese army. We also support the development of Nepal into a developing nation by 2026. Nepal urgently requires foreign investment for the youth demographic and to drive innovation. For companies like ours that are driven by consumption, we are losing talent when our Nepalese go across. So we have to make sure that we have a positive environment where companies like us continue to invest and create employability. This is not, at this point, what I would like to do is to laud the government, to say that they've done amazing things, and especially the Nepal Investment Board, to promote investment presently. And this summit is an incredible opportunity for the government to pitch Nepal, not just to the Nepalese and not to just our neighborhood, but across to the international investors. In closing, I and Coca-Cola would like to please thank the organizers for bringing this industry together, and we look forward to supporting a future-ready and prosperous Nepal. Namaskar and dhere dhere dhanyavad.
Thank you, Debyaniji. Thank you for highlighting the overall story of Coca-Cola in Nepal, how you are doing, and so. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite Mr. Arun Diman. He is the CEO of 3 hydroelectric projects in Nepal. As his name is Arun, and all these projects are named with Arun also. So, Arun 3rd, that is 900 megawatt installed capacity. Arun 4, 495 megawatts, and lower Arun, that is 669 megawatts. So all 3 hydroelectric city projects with him. and he has the 32 years of experience of engineering and mostly in the hydropower. So Arun, please be brief in your presentation. And I would like to thank Devaniji for completing your presentation in 5 minutes. So I'd like to request the same to Arunji.
Thank you, respected sir. Good evening to everyone who is present here. Like what chair has told, okay, I'll just tell that there was the success of Arun 3. That is not in a paper or something like that. Is in practical experience, which you can get it up. Our project has completed almost 74% of the work. Despite of the pandemic of 2 years, we started our work in 2018 end. And within a 5 years, 3 years time, if you deduct from that one, we have achieved the progress of 74%. Yes, in between when we started the work, we had some problems initially by the miscurrents at the project site, disturbance at the project site. At that time, our management, even if thought of whether we have taken a right decision to take up the project or not, or whether we should wind it up or something like that. But after reaching to the government, at that time, I think Right Honorable Prime Minister was Mr. Oli Sahab was the Prime Minister, and we approached him, we are a little bit worried about whether we will be able to complete the project or not. And like Ms. Bhavani already told, it is very easy in Nepal to approach the higher, even if the Prime Minister also. I think the way at that time the government of Nepal bounced back and assured the project about the security, safety of the people and that one. And the reason for that one, you can see the progress in 3 years with 74% of the progress. In that way, I think the government of Nepal is helping out every time, everywhere, where we can get it up the progress and interact with that thing. I think after that one, Mr. Sher Bahadur ji was there. We had a problem again because in a home, you definitely have a problem every time. And now Mr. Prachand ji, when he joins as a Prime Minister, and when we met him first time, our chairman and that, when we started telling him the problems of the project which can increase the progress, as a Prime Minister, he took out his diary and note everything on that one. That is the way the government of Nepal works. And we feel very, very highly obliged at that time. And that Nepal is ready for the investment, and we can believe on that one, and we can invest in a good manner, in a full-fledged manner in that. And we can say that after Arun 3, our management, our government of India, has come up with 2 more projects. We are ready with the investment for the 2 more projects. I think Lower Arun will go in a construction in this year only. And I feel with Bakhunji, we always take a time on a phone. I'll always time it take. Sir, we had a problem, a small stint problem here. He called up the meeting and all district officers, all secretaries, and have it up. Let us line it up. The way the government is working for making it investment-friendly country, and with OIBN in between, which is a single window system, I think from 2011 to now, in last 2-3 years, that have gone up, always keeping up as a hand-holding to us to way through for all ministries in that. I wish all the good luck for Government of Nepal and IBN for this investment summit. And we, as an Indian company, are ready for more investments in hydrogen sector, which recently has been added to us. And Government of India has given a nodal agency, SJVN, for putting up a pilot project in hydrogen in Nepal. So we'll be working out fastly on that one. And SJVN is almost a 56 gigawatt company in India with solar, wind, in hydrogen recently, and hydro. I wish them all the best of luck, and assure investors that if you have a will to invest here, so you will get every help from Government of Nepal, even if from OIBN, even if from all the secretaries and everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Arunji, for being on time and so keeping the time quite short. Thank you very much. And telling the story about how you were feeling in Nepal. So thank you very much that you had some experience that accessing the bureaucrats and the sorting out the things from the bureaucracy and the political level. Thank you for highlighting that one. And that is for the other investors also that we are easy and we try to resolve the problem as soon as possible in our capacity. So now I would like to invite Mr. Hao Zhong. He is a skilled electrical engineer from Sichuan University. And he also has the extensive experience in hydroelectricity sector. He currently serves as the managing director of Sino Hydro Sagarmatha Power Company in Nepal, which is overseeing major projects and demonstrating expertise in various managerial roles across China and Nepal. So, Mr. Hao, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to my part English, please allow me to speak Chinese. Thank you. 感谢主办方的邀请，很幸运有机会在此分享个人对尼泊尔水电行业投资开发的经验和看法。中国电建在尼泊尔经营历史可追溯到1969年，旗下的成员企业参与了中国援建的尼泊尔深刻溪水电站项目。目前，中国电建在尼泊尔开展多项经营业务，主要从事水利、水电、输变电和少量交通、工矿业等项目。项目涵盖设计咨询、EPC、工程总承包、工程分包等模式，是尼泊尔最大的中资企业之一。其中，承建的456兆瓦桑塔马克西水电站是尼泊尔装机容量最大的水电站，于2021年7月投产发电，被誉为尼泊尔的三峡工程。沙马香迪 A 水电站由中国电建集团与尼泊尔萨格玛塔电力有限公司共同投资建设，项目采用 BOOT 模式，建设营运期为35年，项目完全采用中国技术、中国方案、中国设备、中国资金。项目位于甘达基省纳木郡地区，是一座径流饮水式水电站。项目闸坝长114米，高20.5米，饮水隧道长4.95公里。厂房为地面式厂房，装有2台内电容量为25兆瓦机组，每年向电网输送发电量约360吉瓦时。项目于2010年12月签署 PPA， 2012年取得发电证书，2017年1月进入商业运行。秉持海纳百川、投创未来的投资理念，电建海投公司克服地震、口岸关闭等重重困难，成功完成项目投资建设。沙马香迪 A 水电站成为尼泊尔首个中资企业投资水电站项目，也是当时中资投资额最大的项目。项目投资开发也为其他中资企业起到了示范引领作用，为缓解尼泊尔电力紧张做出了积极贡献。项目运营以来取得了优异的运营业绩，已累计向尼泊尔电网输送25亿千瓦时绿色能源。在此，我就项目的成功投资开发分享3点经验。第一，发挥中国电建集团全产业链优势。中国电建位于2023年财富世界500强第105位，在2023年 ENR 全球工程设计公司150强中排名第一，在2023年 ENR 全球承包商250强和国际承包商250强排名中分别位列第6位、第8位，两项排名在电力行业领域均居全球第一。在全球电力建设行业规划、设计、施工等，中国电建的能力和业绩始终位居首位。中国电建以产业链一体化和优势产业多元化为原则，构建了横向跨越能源、电力、水资源与环境、基础设施、房地产开发和战略性新兴产业，纵向 覆盖规划设计、施工承包、投资运营、装备制造等工程建设全过程的立体业务结构，具有为海内外客户提供全产业链集成整体解决方案服务的卓越价值创造能力。上面强调，A水电站建设运营发挥了集团全产业链管理优势，对进度、安全、质量目标的实现起到了关键作用。二、与当地各界精诚合作，项目股东双方诚信合作，并与尼泊尔电力局等单位保持良好合作关系。由于项目计划接入的库迪变电站建设缓慢，为解决尼泊尔电力紧张，公司投资修建20公里应急输电线路，临时接入中马象地电站开关站，避免项目电力无法输出的局面。电站投运以来，尼泊尔电力局在电费支付等方面诚信履约，双方合作良好。三、积极回馈社会，造福当地。公司与当地政府及村民代表共同设立协调委员会，处理当地事务，精心筛选社会责任项目，积极推动当地经济社会发展。运营以来，项目公司共同实施社会责任项目200余项，投入社会资金超过5000万卢比。自投运以来，为尼泊尔上缴国内税费21亿卢比。对于尼泊尔水电行业未来的发展，我再次呼吁：一、政府应大力推进跨境电力合作机制。尼泊尔具有丰富的水电资源，地处内陆，具备为周边国家供应清洁能源的潜力。同时，跨境电力合作将进一步提升尼泊尔电网的稳定性。我们建议尼泊尔政府加快与周边国家跨境输电线路的开发与推动，以使尼泊尔电网电量充分供应，发电能力全部得到有效消纳。二、发展能源密集型产业。目前，尼泊尔雨季市场电力已出现过剩，未来几年电力供过于求的局面将进一步加剧。为解决雨季、旱季发电失衡的问题，尼泊尔政府应规划更多的 PROR 式蓄水式电站，以增强尼泊尔电源的调节能力，并通过加速上述类型电站的批配进度、保障电价等手段吸引国际投资人。与此同时，政府应引导工业企业认识尼泊尔电力不足向能源充足的转变，加快电网系统建设，加快发展电动车、矿产、冶炼等耗能性的产业。三、为水电行业提供政策支持。尼泊尔法律法规逐步健全，为水电行业的良性发展提供了可能。然而，近年来一些法律法规不符合水电行业发展需求，也对外商投资起到了阻碍作用。比如，法律只允许使用不超过5%的外籍人员，外籍人员工资允许汇回比例也进一步下降，外籍员工签证年限限制等一直困扰着我们。我们希望政府可以重新审视，为外商投资水电行业提供更多政策支持。四、深化合作供应理念，为投资者创造更好的营商环境。尼泊尔各部委、政府应加强村民及社会团体的教育和规范管理，避免出现无理诉求甚至主攻，干扰项目的正常运营，给尼泊尔国家及投资者造成巨大损失。中国电建将继续做好对尼泊尔市场的研究，以水电开发为核心主业，充分发挥新能源集成能力，争取实现突破。我们将稳妥健康持续经营，充分发挥自身的水能城主业优势，与在尼的中尼及第三国企业及合作伙伴紧密合作，继续在尼深入发展，不懈努力促进中尼友好经贸往来。以上是我的发言，感谢各位的聆听，谢谢。
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ao. But anyone interpreting it? Just
Hello.
no.
Can I have the mic?
microphones on, please?
Okay.
With permission from the chair, may I read out the summary of the
Yeah.
speech? Thank you, sir. Business history of Power Construction Corporation of China, herein referred to as Power China in Nepal, can be traced back to 1969 when its member companies participated in the construction of the Sunkosi hydropower station project in Nepal, which was aided by China. At present, Power China has carried out multiple businesses in Nepal, mainly engaged in water conservancy, hydropower, power transmission and transformation, as well as small number of transportation, industrial and mining projects. The 456 megawatt Upper Tamakoshi hydropower project constructed by the contractor is the largest installed capacity hydroelectric power station in Nepal. It was put into operation in July 2021 and is known as Nepal's Three Gorges project. Upper Marshangdi A hydroelectric project is jointly invested and constructed by Power Construction Corporation of China and Sagarmatha Power Company Limited. It adopts the BOOT model and has been awarded for a concession period of 35 years. It completely adopts Chinese technology, Chinese plan and Chinese equipment and Chinese fund. The project is located at Lomjung district of Gandaki province. It is a runoff river type hydropower project. The dam of the project is 114 meters and 20.5 meters high. The powerhouse is in the surface type and equipped by 2 units with capacity of 20 megawatts each. Approximately 360 gigawatt per hour of annual power generation is transmitted to the power grid. The PPA is signed in December 2010. The generic license is obtained in 2012 and it entered into commercial operation in January 2017. Adhering to the investment philosophy of cohesive diversity for inclusive growth, investment, innovation for sustainable future, Power China Resources Company Limited overcame numerous difficulties like earthquake and border blockade, then successfully completed project development and construction. Upper Marshangdi A hydroelectric project became the first hydropower project invested by a Chinese-funded enterprise in Nepal and was also the largest investment project by a Chinese enterprise at that time. The investment development of the project has served as a model for other Chinese-funded enterprises and also provided positive contribution to alleviating the power shortage in Nepal. Since the commercial operation, it has achieved excellent operational performance and has delivered approximately 2.5 billion kilowatt hours of green energy to the INPS. Here, I'd like to share some experiences regarding the successful investment and development of projects. The first is to utilize full advantages of the entire industrial chain of Power China Group. In 2023, Power China ranked at 105th among Fortune. It ranked first among ENR's 2023 top 150 global design firms, and in addition, it ranked 6th and 8th respectively among ENR's 2023 top 250 global contractors and top 250 international contractors. In the global power construction industry, Power China has always ranked first in terms of capability and performance. By following the principle of integrating industrial chain and diversifying competitive industries, Power China has established a complete business structure, which from the lateral perspective includes a variety of industries like energy and power, water resources, environment, infrastructures, real estate development, and so forth. It covers the whole engineering construction process involving planning, programming, construction contracting, investment and operation, equipment, manufacturing, etc. The complete business structure enables Power China to be well valued in providing a complete industrial service and creating integrated solution. The construction and operation of Upper Marshangdi A hydroelectric project exerted advantages of the full industry chain management, which played a key role in achieving progress, safety, and quality goals. The second is to have a sincere cooperation with various local sectors. Both shareholders of the project cooperate in good faith and maintain good cooperative relationships with the Nepal Electricity Authority and other units. Due to slow construction of the Kuri substation planned to be connected to the project, in order to solve the power shortage in Nepal, the company invested in the construction of a 20-kilometer emergency transmission line and temporarily connected it to the switch station of the Middle Marshangdi power station to avoid the situation where the project's electricity cannot be output. Since the Upper Marshangdi A power station was put into operation, the NEA has fulfilled its obligations with integrity in terms of electricity payment and other aspects, and both parties have cooperated well. The third is to actively give back to the society and benefit from the local area. The company, together with the local government, villager representatives, established a concern and support committee to handle local affairs. We carefully select corporate social responsibility projects and actively promote economic and social development of locals. Since the operation period, the project company has implemented more than 200 social responsibility projects, invested more than 50 million rupees in social responsibility funds, and has paid 210 million rupees in various taxes and fees for Nepal since its operation. Regarding the future development of hydropower industry of Nepal, I hereby appeal that, firstly, the government should vigorously promote the cross-border power cooperation mechanism. At the same time, cross-border power cooperation will further enhance the stability of Nepal's power grid. Secondly, energy-intensive industries should be promoted. Currently, there is a surplus electricity in Nepal during rainy season, and the oversupply of electricity will further intensify in the next few years. To address the issue of power imbalance between the rainy and dry seasons, the Nepalese government should plan for more run-of-the-river and pondage and reservoir-type hydropower stations to enhance Nepal's power grid regulation capacity. Thirdly, supportive policies for the hydropower industry should be implemented. Laws and regulations of Nepal are gradually improving, making it possible for the healthy development of hydropower industry. However, in recent years, some laws and regulations have not met the development needs of the hydropower industry and have also hindered foreign investment. Fourthly, we hope the concept of win-win cooperation can be deepened and a more friendly business environment for investors can be created. The government of Nepal, from the federal to the local level, and various ministries should strengthen the education and standardized management of villages and communities to avoid unreasonable demands, even obstructing work, which leads to the normal operation of projects being interfered and will cause huge losses to the Nepalese country and investors. Power China will continue to conduct through thorough research on the Nepalese market with hydropower development as its core business. We fully leverage our capabilities in integrating new energy sources and strive for breakthroughs. We will operate steadily, healthily, and sustainably, making full use of our advantages in the water, energy, and urban sectors. We will work closely with Chinese, Nepalese, and third country enterprises and partners in Nepal, continuing to deepen our development in Nepal and making unremitting efforts to promote friendly economic and trade exchanges between China and Nepal. Thank you for listening to my speech. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Shivani, for interpreting what Mr. Howe presented. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Amlan Mukherjee. I'm moving from hydropower to some other sector now, and he is the MD and CEO of Unilever Nepal Limited, and he has very vast experience, actually 30 years of experience in industry experience in general management, brand management, and sales and marketing. So, and currently he is the MD and CEO of Unilever Nepal Limited since April 2020. Now, may I request you to make a brief presentation, and I'd like to request you for completing your presentation within 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Don't worry, I'll try and close it in 5 minutes. Honorable Chief Secretary, my fellow panelists, the investors sitting in this room and the future investors, I stand here on behalf of Unilever, a 60 billion euro company globally, which operates in 108 countries globally. Now, why did I name 108 countries? It is because of the fact that not in all 108 countries we produce. In some of the countries, we source through neighboring countries. But in Nepal, we produce and we produce for the last 30 years. And we plan to produce, we plan to manufacture for the next 70, if not more. Now, how do we do it? If we look at, we define an opportunity of a market mostly in 4 parameters: market size, white space to grow, regulations, and industrial relationship. I'll give you a perspective of the market size. All of us, we know that Nepal is a 30 million, around 30 million in terms of population. If I tell you that Malaysia has nearly 30 million of population, if I tell you Ukraine has nearly 30 million population, if I tell you Canada has around 35 million of population, does it change a bit of your perspective? Does it give you the market size and the future opportunity of this land? That there are that many consumers who are present over there, and it is important to grow the market, to grow the GDP, so that these consumers, they have the ability to purchase, and which will ultimately lead to growth. That is how we define this market, and we say that this market has a huge headroom in terms of growth. Regulations, lots have been spoken from the morning. I'll just give one point. For the last 3 years I'm here, on certain issues I have engaged with the government of Nepal a number of times, multiple times. Last week, an ordinance has been passed, and today this has been made legalized. And number of our requests has been accepted by government of Nepal. And for the manufacturing industry, it is very, very important request, right? So if I am optimistic out of it, I leave it to you. And the last but not the least, the industrial relationship. Since 2021, I am here. We haven't lost. We have a huge factory. We have a really huge factory in Hitoda. We haven't lost one mandate in the last 3.5 years. That is what the industrial relationship stands for. Now, this is about Nepal. I think in my left 2.5 minutes, I should talk about a bit about Unilever Nepal also. We started with one SKU. Some of you may know it was called Will. And today, we make 150 products in Nepal. We pay directly and indirectly almost 300 crores of tax to the Nepal exchequer. We have started the journey. Today our share price in Nepal, in terms of the investors who have trusted us, is almost 300 USD. Today our market cap in Nepal is 275 million USD, right? Now, if this is not an example of success, then what it will be? And it is not the example of Unilever's success. Sorry. This is an example of Nepal's success. Today, if you have opened the newspaper, most of the newspaper which is worth, the only line which you have put in, and those newspapers are, I think, in your packet, you can take it out, is that if we can, you can. Right? So that's our approach. I'll speak about only 2 parts of our operations. One is Unilever is a marketing company. We take a pride that, if not the best, we are amongst the best marketeers in the world. Those marketing best practices we have got in Nepal. Today, the Nepal-made advertisement is being played in different countries. Today, the Nepal-made activation is being mentioned in Kantar. If you know, some of you may not know about Kantar. It is the largest market research agency in the world, in their annual report as an example of activation. And that activation was entirely made in Nepal during the Dasai time, which is the local festival that speaks about our involvement with the locality. The second thing which I'll speak about is about, we heard a lot about digital. When we talk about e-commerce, mostly we talk about B2C, business to consumers. There is a huge e-commerce which is B2B, business to business. Unilever Nepal has created a B2B platform which is called Shikhar. We cover 50,000 outlets in Nepal, much less than Devyani, but sorry, only that many outlets keep soaps. But in those outlets are tagged, GPS tagged. So every outlet is tagged in GPS. And 18,000 of that 50,000 outlets also deal with us through our app called Shikhar and place order which goes to the distributor, and the distributor services within 48 hours. Now, why am I saying this? I'm saying this because if we can, lots can. The e-com in Nepal has unending opportunity. To end my point, we are a responsible organization. Our plastic footprint is huge. I'm sure all of you know. We take back 100% of the plastic which we generate in Nepal. We take back the same quantity and more from the environment. And 60% of plastic we reprocess and reuse in different forms. 90% of the energy which we use in our factory is clean energy. So hence, as because we are working in Nepal, we never compromise on the Unilever standard of operation which we follow in rest of the countries. Nepal deserves the best. We try to give the best. I don't know how much we are successful. I end by saying, if we can, you can. Thank you so much.
Very inspiring quotes, and thank you very much. So now I'd like to invite Mr. Samrat Moga. He is the president of Moga Energy. He's a visionary leader known for impactful investments in green energy. He has the decade-long experience, and he spearheaded projects like Likhu 1, 2, and A, adding 161 megawatt to Nepalese grid. Now, may I also request you to please honor the time? Thank you.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Honorable Chief Secretary, distinguished panelists, and the gentlemen in this room for having me today. Samrat Moga, 30, an engineer from New York. Many people have a reason to be fascinated with Nepal, some due to Mount Everest, some due to the beautiful valleys and the flowing rivers, and some due to the greenery. Mine comes from heritage. I was born to an Indian American father and a Nepali mother about some 30 years ago. I've been witnessing Nepal from my childhood and seeing the gap in development, the gap in the standard of living, coming here for a month out of the 12 in a year. So when I was 16, I found out about the possibilities in the energy sector in Nepal, though I know this seems like a very young age, but this is true. I found out about the possibilities in the energy sector, and I went to college determined to become an engineer in the renewable space because I could see myself coming back here and hopefully generating a few megawatts of electricity. And that's what happened. In 2016, I formed Moga Energy right after graduating when I was 22. And I came to Nepal to understand what the market was like, what the investments here were like. And through our local partners, MV Lugar Group, we decided in 2018 to invest into Likhu 1, Likhu 2, and Likhu A hydroelectric projects. We have come a long way since then. From a one-day drive and a two-day trek to reach our site, we can do it now in 8 hours. From dark villages, we've seen enlightened, from dark nights, we've seen enlightened villages. And from barren landscapes, we've seen what I would call pretty powerhouses. We have just commissioned our last project of Likhu 177. Now we have 161.4 megawatts of commissioned energy assets connected to the Nepalese grid. While building our projects from day one, we've always had an approach of being different. We've used the best consultants in the industry. We've used the most advanced equipment, taking our electromechanical equipment from Andres. Not only that, we are the only power plant in Nepal which has the capacity to be operated without a single person, completely manless and automated capacity is inbuilt into our power plant. Not only this, we have also used the most advanced methods of construction, whether that be using the most reliable tunneling equipment, the highest safety standards, the most experience of contractors, and it has allowed us to set many records, one of which is the fastest tunnel construction in 1 month period. We have done this with our formidable and skilled team in the country, and all of this has resulted in us producing very highly reliable power plants at a good cost, generating more than 98% of the planned energy. Now, we are not only providing clean and green energy to the Nepalese grid. We believe that the hydropower story goes much further than that. If you look at the impact our projects have, we've constructed 110 kilometers of road. By constructing the road, I've not only gotten probably a little heavier, but more so, this means that the people, the roughly 40 to 50,000 people that live along that road can now reach Kathmandu in about 8 hours as opposed to 3 days. This means that doctors and teachers which were not ready to walk 3 days to work somewhere are now looking for opportunity in that area. This means that when a project is constructed, a hospital is built, which is not only available to our manpower, but also to the local community. Not only do we provide, does this help in emergency, but this directly affects the cost of living. Prior to this, a person would have to walk 2 days to get a bag of rice. Now it's available at their local shop. Furthermore, due to the construction of the projects, a local transmission line and a local grid is built much before the projects are commissioned. This brings light to every single household much before the light from our own powerhouses are produced. In addition, the provision of having 10% local populace holding at a par value, which means 10% of our shares at the time of IPO will be held by the local communities, means that the wealth creation in which we are also gaining, that means that every single local person in that area is also gaining directly and economically in their bank account. Finally, when these projects are built, they have provided indirect and direct employment for nearly 5,000 people. Some of these people have been working in the GCC countries for 5, 10, 15 years with no hope of moving back and have seen their home maybe after a decade, having equivalent salaries considering inflation higher than what they were receiving outside the country. Some of these people have worked for the first time in a project, developing skills which will then be used and transferred to other people in the country as well. Finally, every single hydropower project comes with CSR activities. As per the current government mandate, 0.75% of the cost of any project should be used for CSR-related activities. What this means, if we look at the broader scheme of things, is that to develop 10,000 megawatts over the next 7 to 8 years, which is the government's plan, we need to have, that would induce a spending of almost $150 million on community support programs, and indirectly, 5 to 10% of every project's cost is infrastructure development. So that's $1.5 to $2 billion in infrastructure development, which is the type of impact for which grant aid money is required, which can happen through the private sector just through investment. There are always challenges when developing any type of project in the Hindu Kush, whether that is geological, whether that be technical, whether that be social. But the government has always stood with us in helping us overcome these issues, and the result of which are these commissioned assets. Without the government's support, without the local government support, and without the local people's support, it is absolutely impossible to do these projects. So I think by executing these projects, you can understand that what type of investment climate Nepal actually has to offer the world. Now, of course, we are very, very optimistic. I would go on to say we are very, very bullish about Nepal. With the continued support of the government and of our neighbors in our energy offtake, nothing can stop Nepal from becoming the green battery of Southeast Asia. Not only does Nepal have the ability to generate electricity, which is important, it also has the ability to store electricity because of its very topography. This could allow a green stabilizing force to the grids of our neighbors. And lastly, I would like to mention that with these assets now commissioned, Moga Energy is putting our money where our mouth is. We are launching an infrastructure fund by the name of Moga Infrablocks Fund, and we are investing a further $100 million over the next 3 years into the renewable energy sector in Nepal. In addition to this, Moga Energy has done a tie-up with Tata Power through an FDI investment in Dugar Power, and we are looking at developing 100 megawatts of rooftop solar over the next 5 years so that everybody in the country, not just people next to the grid, have access to clean energy. In addition to this, we are also looking at using solar to balance the country's peak and off-peak load issues so that even in the winter, an import requirement severely reduces from where it is currently. Very simply, our plan is very ambitious. We hope to produce 1,000 megawatts in the next 5 years. It's taken us about 8 to get to 161, but I think it's something that we can definitely achieve. And finally, we are also looking to bring this energy to every last consumer in the country. For that, we are working with Static to see how we could develop an EV charging network in the country. So these are only to demonstrate that if we can do it, as our friend from Unilever said, you can too. I would like to thank IBN for having me here today. I would also like to thank my mentor, specifically my grandfather, Mr. Motilal Dugar, for teaching me. And I would also like to thank the government of Nepal as well as the team of the IBN for inviting me here. I would like to end with an anecdote. Why do we do this at Moga? A friend of mine asked me a year ago, we were in Pokhara, you're going to end up commissioning your last project. Why are you doing this? What's the purpose? What's the end goal? And I thought about it for just about a second, and I said, I wish I see the mountains every day from Kathmandu. I used to come here when I was young, and every single time, even in the monsoon, we would get to see the mountains every single day. But with global warming, with the climate where it is currently, that's not the case. So for us, our goal is very simple. We are investing in Nepal so that our children, my grandchildren, can see the mountains every day. And we urge you to invest in Nepal so that your grandchildren could do the same. Thank you for having me here today and giving me the time to speak.
Thank you, Samrat. Thank you very much for very insightful presentation. And thank you very much for highlighting all the successes that you have and all the supports that you have been getting. And thank you very much for highlighting your plans also. So all the best for your plans, the future plans. Thank you very much. Now, I'd like to invite Mr. Gokarna Awasthi. He is currently serving as the Director General of FNCCI, the young gentleman. And he also has some different hats also. He was the previous journalist, and he is also involved in the academia, and now he is the Director General of FNCCI. So, Mr. Awasthi, I would like to request you, because all the presenters here, they said about their stories. Now, you tell about the overall industrialists in Nepal, how they are facing and how they are familiar with. So, but the time limit is the same.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chief Secretary, distinguished panelists, and participants. Namaste. On behalf of Federation of Nepali Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I would like to welcome all the participants to the third Nepal Investment Summit. When we speak about Nepal, we often think our country is small, but we are actually quite a large market. That is because we are between India and China, we think so. When we take population into consideration, Nepal is actually the 49th largest country in the world. In the last 25 years, around 4 million Nepalese have risen from the poverty line. 4 million people coming out from the poverty line means that the number of consumers in the Nepali market has also increased. And this could be the reason why the majority of the multinational companies operating in Nepal are performing well. The story of the multinational companies in Nepal is largely successful. As FNCCI is also the employer's council, we can say that the complaints related to labor issues have dropped. Our products are getting duty-free market access in India, China, and other developed countries. Now we are graduating to the League of Developing Nations in 2026. Even after Nepal graduates to a developing nation in 2026, we will still able to avail duty-free facility in some developed nations till 2029. Due to Indo-Nepal Trade Treaty, preferential market access will remain in India. The Middle East is another potential market for Nepali exports. On an average, there are more than 10 flights on a daily basis from Kathmandu to the Middle East. It helps us to export our agro products, bottled water, and other products smoothly to GCC. It means you produce here and export across the world with preferential access. Along with the export of goods, we need to start focusing on export of services too, which is rapidly growing throughout the world. Thousands of Indian nationals visit our border towns for medical treatment. If we could improve medical infrastructure and technical institutions in our hill stations, the number of South Asian and other nationals coming for treatment and education could rise significantly. Religious and adventurous tourism is always there. We have already talked much about potential of IT and hydropower. In a major breakthrough, Nepali cement companies have also started exporting their products to India. Government has amended 12 investment-related laws and regulations to facilitate foreign and domestic investors. Moreover, the framework of the bilateral investment agreement has also been passed from the cabinet. The foreign exchange reserves that we have at present are sufficient to cover imports of 12 months. We now have to focus on how we can create and increase demand in the market. The world outside is a huge market awaiting to be tapped. We need to grab this opportunity. We want to provide our foreign investors with the best investment climate that we can. FNCCI organized business and investment summits in India, China, and Dubai, respectively, in the last year. That is our effort to attract foreign investment and increase exports. We are open to organize such events with other countries, and I request the participant chambers and other participants that we will come to your country for events, and we also welcome you for different events in Nepal. We at FNCCI also have an FDI help desk at our secretariat. The help desk was established to provide assistance to foreign investors. If any investor requires any help regarding any investment policy or procedure, please feel free to approach us. We will be more than happy to assist you. Thank you, and I wish all the participants have a fruitful 2 days at the summit. Thank you.
Thank you, Gokarna. Thank you very much. Thank you for highlighting the things and also informing the floor that what FNCCI offers for the FDIs and so. So I have been told by the organizers that time is running out, and exactly it is running out because this session was supposed to complete at 4 o'clock, but we started at 4:15. So I must conclude this session, and let me go to the podium so that I can see everyone's face over there. Okay, distinguished panelists, distinguished participants over here, thank you very much for your patience that you are still here with your cheerful faces and so. Today, in this session, we heard varieties of experiences, not only from the domestic investors, but also from the external investors. I would like to thank you very much for the presenters, for your inspiring and encouraging statements. And some were very powerful investments too. And you were encouraging the investors sitting around in this hall to invest in Nepal and to convince them that your investment would not be a waste in Nepal. So thank you very much for that powerful statements and so. This session was actually designed to tell the stories by the investors themselves. Because what we thought that the private investors like you understand the issues when themselves speak. And when we talk about the regulations, when we talk about the procedures and everything, and then you would sometimes, be confused whether that is true or whether that is only in paper or whether that is in the practice and so. Now, the investors themselves are telling their stories that their investments were the success in Nepal. So, that compels you to believe the things, right? So, you can also invest in Nepal and make the benefits. And thank you very much for your stories, the panelists. And thank you for choosing Nepal for your investment. And I truly believe that you are highly satisfied investing in Nepal. Also, I hope that you will scale up your investments in the coming days, not only in the sectors that you are investing in now, but in the multiple sectors in the future also. As we have heard in the morning session and in the afternoon sessions also, there are varieties of reform measures that the government has taken. The one and foremost very important legal reforms that happened today when the Right Honorable President issued the ordinance amending some laws that are relating to the investment facilitation. They are related with the land acquisition, forest, national parks, industrial enterprises, foreign investment and technology transfers, and PPP that enables the IBN to be strengthened in the future and so. So these are the only the beginning of the amending some of the laws that are somehow obstacles to you. And there are many more in the pipeline. So we will be continuously working on easing the environment over here, not only in the legal terms, but also in the procedural terms. As Right Honorable Prime Minister in the morning session said that we have two agencies. One is IBN, Investment Board of Nepal, and another one is the Department of Industry. Both have the one-stop services to you. And they are very much committed to ease the procedures. And we will be making these procedural reforms in the coming days. And also, the Right Honorable Prime Minister also informed that the government of Nepal has recently approved the model framework for the BIA, Bilateral Investment Agreement, which enables you to sign, if any friendly country signs the agreement with us, then your investment is protected and your investment would be promoted over here. So I also echo the same that Right Honorable Prime Minister said in the morning, that I would like to encourage all of you to sign the BIA with us so that any of your investors from any country would be protected over here. And the repatriation is quite easy and everything is easy and so. So I don't need to spend much time over here because you have heard from the horse's mouth. So I don't need to tell that, this is the environment, that the people are getting benefits from here, investing in here and so on. Because they told themselves and they told their stories and you listen to them. So I would like to invite all of you to invest in Nepal. And if you have any problems, then you can approach us to the government agencies, and we are always to facilitate you. With this small note, I'd like to thank all the participants very much for your patience over here, and I'd like to once again thank the presenters for their presentations. Thank you very much. So big applause to the presenters. That they really, I hope that they really encouraged you to make your investment in Nepal. With this, I would like to conclude this session also. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And immense thanks on behalf of the organizers to all the distinguished members in the panel. And as we head towards the very concluding moments, we take a moment to extend our bit of appreciation for the valuable time that you've extended and such insightful, encouraging and inspiring stories that you bring to this forum, which only adds so much value and so many takeaways for many, many individuals herein. In the interest of time, we could not open the floor for the questions. However, given the availability of our distinguished speakers, please feel free to connect to them and then have the opportunity of knowing more and exchanging and fostering more sharing. Said that to extend the appreciation and gratitude on behalf of the organizers, may I invite upon stage the Joint Secretary at the Office of the Investment Board of Nepal, Mr. Pradyumna Upadhyaya, for presenting this token of appreciation to the session chair, Chief Secretary of the Government of Nepal, Dr. Baikuntha Aryal. Thank you, sir. Thank you for so magnificently running the session and adding all the value to this incredible sharing. Thank you so much. And now, representing the government of Nepal, it's our request to the session chair, the Chief Secretary, Dr. Aryal, to kindly make a presentation of the appreciation to our distinguished members in the panel. First and foremost, to the presentator, the former Chief Executive Officer at the Office of the Investment Board of Nepal, Mr. Radesh Pant. Thank you for the very valuable sharing that you added to the forum. To our distinguished speakers, namely IBN board member Ms. Bhavani Rana, from Coca-Cola, Vice President, Public Affairs, Communications and Sustainability for India and Southwest Asia, Ms. Devyani Rajalaxmi Rana. CEO at SAP DC, Mr. Arun Dhiman. Managing Director at Sino Hydro Sagarmatha Power Company, Mr. Hu Zhong. Managing Director at Unilever Nepal, Mr. Amlan Mukherjee. From Moga Energy and Subsidiaries USA, Mr. Samrath Moga. And to the Director General of the Federation of Nepalese Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Mr. Gokarna Awasthi. May I now invite all the esteemed panelists to kindly take center stage for a quick group photo opportunity. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, one last round of applause to our esteemed members of the panel. A panel which featured the real-life examples of successful investment ventures. which we believe was very, very instrumental in providing you all with valuable insights and inspiration. Thank you for being great members of the audience, and one last gesture of gratitude to the esteemed members in the panel. With this, we have concluded this second plenary session of the day, and right away we move to the other engagement of the day, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sure you are very, very much looking forward to this particular session, which is all about project showcasing for expression of interest. The presentation title is Project Spotlight, Igniting Interest Through Engaging Expression of Interest. May I request the members from the organizing committee and volunteers to see that the stage is set for the next set of panelists to take over on the stage. And as we do get the stage set, let me apprise you all that over the next 1 hour, we shall delve into the prospects and practicalities aimed at helping you understand our vision, the state of affairs, procedures and technicalities, and the investment climate here in Nepal. And in view of the huge potential Nepal holds by virtue of its resources, need, burgeoning markets in the neighborhood, and a host of other factors, ladies and gentlemen, the prospects of doing business in Nepal is huge. And as you all know, the government has showcased 150 plus projects, of which 21 are ready-to-go projects, inviting potential buyers to submit expression of interest. This session furnishes the necessary information for the clarity of your understanding. And if I may request all the panelists to take their seats in the very front row, in the member of the audience. May I invite all the panelists for this session to kindly grace the front row for a bit as we get the stage set. We request all our esteemed participants, delegates, and invitees to kindly take your respective seats as we are now looking forward to begin the session on project showcasing for expression of interest. Please join me, ladies and gentlemen, in inviting the panelists for the session. First and foremost, Mr. Akshit Raj Paudel, MSc in Industrial Engineering from the Louisiana Tech University. Mr. Paudel is an embedded consultant at the Office of the Investment Board of Nepal, supporting the project development cell in the office from the last 6 years. As I welcome Mr. Paudel on stage, allow me to share that Mr. Paudel will give an introductory presentation outlining the comprehensive project showcase plan for the Nepal Investment Summit 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, please join your hands for Ms. Ranjita Acharya, Masters in Urban and Regional Planning from the University of Hawaii, USA. She's an embedded consultant at the Office of the Investment Board of Nepal, supporting the project development cell in the office for the last 5 years. She will be giving a presentation on tourism and health sector project. Our next panelist is Mr. Vivek Gupta, MSc in Transportation Engineering, Pulchok, the Tribhuvan University. He's an embedded consultant at the Office of the Investment Board Nepal, supporting the project development cell in the office for about 2 years. Mr. Gupta will give a presentation on the transportation sector projects. Next is Mr. Narayan Prasad Bhandari, MSc in Urban Planning from the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. May I invite Mr. Bhandari up on stage? He is currently working as the Deputy Director General at the Department of Urban Development and Building Construction and holds 27 years of experience. Mr. Bhandari will give a presentation on the Babar Mahal Administrative Plaza project. Mr. Rajendra Kadel, Masters in Economics and Masters in Public Administration from the Tribhuvan University. He's currently working as Acting Director in IDML in the Human Resource and Finance Department for the last 21 years. Mr. Kodil will give a presentation on the Daiji Industrial District project. May I now invite up on stage Mr. Khem Raj Regmi, MSc in Water Resources Engineering, Tribhuvan University. He's currently working as a hydropower engineer at the Department of Electricity Development for more than 8 years. Mr. Regmi will give a presentation on the hydropower projects. Next is Mr. Shankar Shaud, MSc in Water Resources Engineering, Tribhuvan University. He's working as a hydropower engineer at the Department of Electricity Development for more than 7 years. He will give a presentation on the hydropower projects. Mr. Santosh Rai, Master's degree in Engineering Management. He's working as the Senior Officer and Project Manager at the Alternate Energy Promotion Center, AEPC, and has an experience of 25 years in renewable energy. Policy and regulation formulation, energy and budget planning, projects and programs, planning and implementation. Mr. Rai will give a presentation on Karnali Chisapani wind power project. And last but not the least, Ms. Ayushi Koirala, BA LLB Honors, the West Bengal National University of Juridical Sciences. She's an embedded consultant at the Office of the Investment Board of Nepal, supporting the shared services cell in the office from the last 6 years. Mr. Ayushi Koirala will give an introductory presentation on investment regime in Nepal. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a round of applause to our esteemed panelists for this session, which will give you a quick picture on the projects that are showcased for and call for the expression of interest. And regarding the modality, we shall hand over the floor, beginning with Mr. Paudel, who will be dealing with the general overview of all the projects and giving us an introductory presentation outlining the comprehensive project showcase plan here at NIS 2024. And then the panelists will take their turns in making their respective presentations. It's my pleasure now to hand over the floor to Mr. Akshit Raj Paudel.
All the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, namaste. It fills me with great pride to stand here today and share insights into project we are presenting on this auspicious occasion. Our discussion today will be structured into 3 key segments. I'll be talking on the first part as setting up the context for today's discussion. Within this section, I shall provide insights on 2017 and 2019 summit. Furthermore, I will introduce IBN Project Bank, which has served as the cornerstone for our meticulous planning in presenting projects today. The remaining parts on the projects and investment process shall be covered by my colleagues later on. Looking back to past summits, Nepal Investment Summit 2017 was organized after a few years of political stability in the country. The main aim of the summit was to showcase favorable investment climate supporting foreign investment. The sectors like energy, aviation, banking, food, railways, road, mining, and manufacturing garnered significant attention on the summit. Particularly, energy sector drew massive interest on the summit. The summit's success was reflected in the increase in FDI inflows in Nepal, which rose by encouraging 29% between the year 2017 and 2018. Likewise, 2019 summit was also an impressive event. At the summit, a total of 77 projects were showcased. The highlight of the event was successful securing of investment interest for 16 of these projects, which are in various stages of study and development. A significant project such as Lower Arun hydroelectric project was showcased in this summit, which now is in project implementation stage. As the Investment Board Nepal understands the necessity for ready-to-go projects from past two summits, it was very necessary to establish project bank equipped with comprehensive project notes, feasibility study, detailed project report to appeal to potential investors. Utilizing the COVID regime and understanding the investor expectation, IVN established IVN Project Bank, that is depository of credible and bankable projects for public-private partnership investment. These projects are selected through predetermined, structured, systematic, and transparent process for identification, selection, ranking, appraisal, and prioritization of the project. Now let's get into the comprehensive plan for presenting project at this summit. Projects here are meticulously organized into various categories, each guided by specific criteria endorsed by both technical committee and implementation committee. This committee was established as a result of cabinet decision to orchestrate this year's summit. Firstly, we have project idea dissemination. The projects that are featured here are basically in the ideation or conceptual stage. Moving on to the second category, here are projects that are placed for market sounding purpose. Here we'll find little more information on the project, showcase project, many of which have already completed pre-feasibility level of study. Tomorrow we'll have a dedicated session on the interest mapping and collecting your feedback on this project. Following the third category, features project showcase for procurement. Those listed projects are based on their level of preparedness. My colleague later on will delve into each project in detail, addressing them individually. In addition to these three categories, there are also projects seeking finance for realization. A few of these are transmission line project and energy sector project, following by agriculture and manufacturing sector. Moreover, there are also projects that are seeking private investment. They are mostly from mining sector, following by manufacturing and tourism sector. We have also showcased projects from both private sector umbrella organization and individual companies. Lastly, there is a mixed list of projects. Those are mostly in conceptual stage. After consolidating all the projects, we have got a total of over 150 projects. To be exact, it's 154 in number. They are showcased under various categories. I kindly invite each of you to explore the project stall outside, express your interest, collect information on the project of your interest. We are here to offer top-notch assistance in every step of the way. On this note, I would like to end my part and would like to invite Ms. Ranjita Acharya, where she will be talking more on ready-to-go projects that have been showcased in this summit. Thank you all for having me here this evening. Namaste.
Thank you, Akshit ji. So as he already mentioned, there are projects in non-energy category and energy category projects. And I'll be talking about some tourism sector projects in hospitality sector and health tourism sector. So talking about the tourism sector, it represents a significant opportunity for Nepal's economic growth. It is a vibrant sector that not only invites investment but also attracts foreign capital contributing to the country's economy. Pokhara International Convention and Exhibition Center (PICC) project is envisioned to harness our country's tourism potential and boost MICE tourism. Meeting, incentive, convention, and exhibition tourism. The proposed project is expected to play a key role in the economic growth, which will be located in Pokhara metropolitan city, also known as the tourism capital of Nepal. Spanning over 7 hectares, it will feature an amphitheater, 5-star hotel, restaurant, museum, children parks, and many more. This modern state-of-art center is specifically designed to host large-scale MICE events. Its establishment is expected to elevate the Pokhara's status as a premier MICE tourism destination, attracting diverse range of events and visitors and contributing significantly to Nepal's tourism and economic development. In Nepal, there is a growing need for large-scale event venues with a complete infrastructure. So our focus is on developing a comprehensive MICE ecosystem finely tuned to meet the needs of organizers and participants. This project targets the current gaps in MICE venues by offering top-notch facilities tailored to these purposes. Situated strategically between India and China, Nepal offers competitive pricing and taps into substantial demand, particularly from South Asian clients. The venue's proximity to Pokhara's International Airport ensures convenient accessibility for international business travelers attending the events. Leveraging Pokhara's reputation as a premier tourism hub with rich natural beauty and cultural heritage and a well-established tourism ecosystem, this project not only meets the demand of modern MICE facilities but also positions Pokhara as a standout destination for memorable and impactful experiences. Our office conducted the pre-feasibility study of this project, and as per the study, estimated project cost is around $30 million. The study has shown strong financial viability and commercial attractiveness. It presents a profitable investment opportunity and will be executed as a public-private partnership using build, operate, own, transfer model with a concession period of 30 years. Another project that is open for UI is Janaki Heritage Hotel and Culture Village project. Our vision for this project is to enhance wedding, cultural, and luxury tourism in Janakpur. This project aims to create a cultural village luxury hotel focusing on destination wedding and other tourism infrastructure to enhance the experience of visitors seeking a blend of heritage, culture, and tradition. As we know that Janakpur holds a significant place in Nepal's tourism scene as the birthplace of Sita and a sacred place where Lord Ram and Sita tied the knot. This historical and religious importance makes it an ideal location for developing as a luxury wedding destination. Janakpur has been a preferred wedding destination for many Indian couples for quite some time, and its significance continues to attract many more to choose this place for their weddings. Additionally, its proximity to Nepal-India border provides easy accessibility for Indian tourists, offering cost-effective options. This project is also backed by a thorough pre-feasibility study and appears attractive and financially viable. With careful planning and strategic implementation, it promises strong returns and long-term sustainability. The comprehensive analysis conducted indicates that this venture holds significant potential for investors seeking profitable opportunity in hospitality and tourism sector. Another project in health tourism sector, and it is Dolikhel Medicity project. This project is designed to be a cutting-edge super specialty hospital offering a comprehensive range of healthcare services. It aims to leverage modern technology and medical expertise to position Dolikhel as a medical hub for medical tourism. Spanning across more than 13 hectares, it is envisioned as a state-of-art medical center. Dolikhel's natural beauty and serene environment, coupled with its proximity to Kathmandu, make it an ideal destination for holistic healthcare. With global demand for medical facilities rising, the proposed project aims to offer comprehensive and high-quality services at competitive prices. Nepal's lower cost of healthcare resources present a significant opportunity to attract medical tourists seeking affordable yet high-standard treatments. The proposed project is not just about building a hospital. We have envisioned to create a medical hub. Our vision includes a School of Medical Science, teaching hospital, integrative medical institute, and so on. Additionally, project aims to tap into wellness care market with a wellness resort complemented by other facilities. As we can see here, the project financial analysis shows favorable financial indicators with the estimated cost of around $19 million. The project is financially attractive and viable, and this makes it an appealing opportunity for investors looking into sustainable healthcare development. Furthermore, the proposed implementation through PPP modality underscores its commitment to ensuring long-term success and impact in the healthcare sector. Another project that is in medical tourism sector is Gautam Buddha Maternity Hospital project in Lumbini. This project also envisions tapping into Lumbini's potential as a hub for medical tourism, offering specialized maternity care in a spiritually enriching environment. By leveraging Lumbini's global recognition and tourism appeal, the project aims to foster international collaboration, promote sustainable healthcare practices, and boost local economies, creating a holistic and impactful healthcare ecosystem in the heart of Buddha's birthplace. The proposed project aims to establish state-of-art facilities, including an antenatal and neonatal care units services, supporting medical infrastructure, and many more. These facilities are designed to provide comprehensive care of expectant mothers and newborns, ensuring that they receive high-standard medical attention and support in a spiritually nurturing environment. Given the increasing demand for maternity facilities, this maternity hospital project aims to meet this demand by offering high-quality healthcare services at affordable prices. This project complements the growing need for comprehensive maternity care, ensuring that expectant mothers receive exceptional services that address both their medical and holistic needs. This pre-feasibility study has been already completed, and it indicates that the project, with an estimated cost of 3.6 billion Nepalese rupees and implemented through the PPP model, is financially viable and attractive for investors. Sorry. Attractive for investors. The study shows that project is feasible and sustainable, demonstrating its potential to deliver high-quality healthcare solution while leveraging Lumbini's appeal as a medical tourism hub. Wrapping it up, these projects are all about being environmentally friendly and sustainable with designs that save energy and reduce carbon emissions. They represent golden opportunities for investors looking into profitable ventures in hospitality and health tourism sector. That concludes my part for now. Vivekji will take over and delve into transportation sector projects. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ranjitaji. Ladies and gentlemen. Now let me take you all to the transportation-related projects that IBN has been developing. The first one that I'm presenting here is Sudur Paschim Public Transportation Project. So the basic concept of the project is to enhance the transportation infrastructure in Sudur Paschim province. As you can see, the location mainly covers the Tarai region districts and some hilly areas. As you can see in the map, the red dots are mostly the bus stops that we are planning along the routes. So we have completed a pre-feasibility level study, studying all the routes that are currently in operation and the demand that we saw in the province. Based on those demand and projections, the study has come up with the need for additional 172 buses for the next 5 years. It includes 68 diesel buses. They will cover some medium routes and some long routes, and 104 electric buses for mostly short and medium routes. So we are trying to electrify the public transportation, the industry in Sudur Paschim province. So the routes that are identified, there are 9 routes. 2 are long, 2 medium routes, and 5 short routes. Within the short routes, Dangadi Airport to Dangadi Bus Park and Dangadi Airport to Ataria Bus Park are the new routes. Currently, if you are planning to go to Dangadi Airport, you have to actually get off at the highway and get a local, the auto ferry to go to the airport. But this study shows that there is a potential to viably run the public transportation in this route as well. So there will be 5 bus terminals as well, Dangadi, Tikapur, Mahendranagar, Dipayal and Ataria. These bus stops will actually add to the financial viability of the project and provide some more revenue generating avenues for the investors. We have 47 bus stops planned for all these routes within the provinces. They will provide modern bus stop facilities and as well as provide some grounds for advertisement and again revenue generation for the project. The commercial areas within the bus terminals will include fuel stations, charging stations. There will be hotels and restaurants, mechanical shops, stores, and washroom and amenities as well. So what we are trying to address is the inefficient transportation system, specifically the lack of proper public transportation system in the province. So it will enhance the mobility and meet the growing need of transportation in the province. There are unexplored tourism destinations. With these routes, the access to these destinations will be more attractive to the people and tourists, and definitely the environment-friendly infrastructure that we are building. The energy-efficient bus stops and electric vehicles will add to the sustainability aspect of public transportation in the province as well. So the total estimated cost for the province, for the project is around 31.13 billion Nepali rupees. And because it's a public transportation project, we can expect that the return is 2.97% only. So with this, we can see the economic return is very high, above 19%. And for this, the study has actually done a few scenarios of subsidies that might be required to actually make this project viable for the private sector. And one of the recommended scenario is 25% subsidy in the purchase of vehicles, 10% subsidy in building the bus stops, and interest subsidy of 15%. So we can actually do a better study and come up with better, the numbers, and that can be negotiated and invested upon. So the idea is to develop the project in PPP model, particularly BOOT, and the EOI for the project is on. So if you are interested, you can meet us at our stall and get more information, and you can also apply for the project. The next one is an expressway project that was envisioned in a tandem of 3 different expressway projects connecting Kathmandu and Chitwan, which I'll be presenting today. And there are other 2 projects that connects Chitwan to Pokhara and Butwal through expressway. So the idea is to connect all these links to connect the cities within an hour of travel time. As you, most of us from Nepal might have known, it takes around 4 to 5 hours to get from Kathmandu to Chitwan, although the road distance is only about 150 kilometers. And the expressway the route that we have planned, it's only 96.5 kilometers long. So with a speed of 80 to 120 km per hour, it only takes about 57 minutes to get from Chandragiri to Chitwan. So you can imagine actually going to Chitwan and coming back the same day and doing your business works, or the vice versa. You can come, anybody from Chitwan can come to Kathmandu and do their official works and go back home in the evening. That is very much more efficient, and it not only saves time, but it is particularly more beneficial for the cargo trucks that we see stuck on the very sharp turns and high gradient in the current road as well. So this has a multitude of benefits in terms of minimizing the carbon emissions and saving time as well. So coming down to the financials, so the total cost of the project is 221 billion Nepali rupees, and the internal rate of return that is based on the projections of the traffic is very close to 12%, and the payback period is 11 years, and the benefit cost ratio is 1.3 for the toll-only options. And the economic analysis shows there is far more benefit economically for the country and the people as well. So the development modality that the pre-feasibility study has been recommended is PPP, and a hybrid annuity model has been recommended so that the government of Nepal can have their stake in development of the project, and the private sector would be more comfortable to be on board to develop the project. So to explain more about the next project, we have Nayan Prasad Bhandari sir, from Deputy Director from the Department of Urban Development and Building Construction. Let me hand over to him. Thank you.
Good afternoon, respected delegates and participants. I would like to present you this Bowermall Administrative Project Plaza. It is a new concept that we are presenting to you, that there is a very permanent land in Bowermall area. It is a 3-hectare land under government, and then we are proposing half of it to government offices and half of it to the commercial space, because Bowermall is the one of the area that is centrally located and highly demandable area for this commercial activities and this government office area. And all the facilities are available on that area. We don't need to go to further utility connection, and those things all are available there. And the total built-up area is almost 91,000 square meter, and then half of this area will go to commercial space and half will go to this office space. There will be different departments and other offices from different departments, and it is that there will be a commercial space, as I have already explained, and it is a differently able-friendly design and multi-purpose hall with different facilities for commercial needs. Its total cost is 10.91 billion, and its IRR is 14.37%. Economic EIRR is 16.94, and payback period is 6.4 years, and benefit cost ratio is 1.23. That's why it is a investable project. In our view, it is an investable project and profitable project. And we have our stall on the Department of Urban Development and Building Construction. We have flyers and detailed project reports. All things are there. You can download our EOI from Investment Board's EOI, and you can apply for EOI. You are welcome to this new concept project, and it will be beneficial for government and private sector. It is under under PPP, and this modality is built, operate, and transport modality. I think this one is. I am not going to tell you about this all the technical parts.
you can refer on our UI and all things. This is our purpose, the space for commercial office on the upper part and space for commercial rent is for lower floors. And I have already said that all the things about this commercial financial indicators. And we have completed all the things except this approval of the EIA. Then this is ready to invest project, I think. This EIA will complete within 6 to 7 months. Then you can invest within very short period. That's why we request you and we invite you to invest on this type of project for nationally or international investor. Both we welcome you and apply. We request you to apply to our UI. Thank you very much. And I would like to request Mr. Rajendra Kanel, Acting Director in IDMC, Department of Human Resource and Finance, to present his projects.
Thank you, Mr. Naren Prasad Bhandari, sir. Me from Industrial District Management Limited, a government-owned company established in 1988. At present, we have 10 industrial districts are in operation and 7 more industrial districts have been declared by the government of Nepal. Industrial District Management has showcases a project, Daiji Industrial District, which is located in Sudur Pasim Province, Kanchanpur District in Bedkot Municipality. It has a 240.34 hectares area and total project cost is 9 billion approximately. That is in US dollar $66 million. Total number of plot allocated to the industry is 100 plots. And the plot size is 0.46 hectares to the higher size is 13.64 hectares. The categories of industry as according to the DPR, agro-waste industries, mineral waste industries, electrical and electronics industry is the main list. And the estimated employment is 22,000. And current market demand as per the DPR and the demand forecast is 350 industries has shown their interest. This is our master plan according to DPR. Daiji Industrial District has been declared by the decision of the Government of Nepal, Council of Ministers, 2016 March 14th. The project of the detailed DPR has been completed and environmental impact assessment EIA reported approved. Now the position of the work using the forest area land for the industrial area in this process. The financial indicators, total project cost is 8.6 billion. That as I already said 9 billion approximately and US dollar and $65.6 million. Project IRR is 12.95 and discount rate at the rate of 10%. Payback period 22.03, benefit cost ratio 1.29, operating years 30, loan interest rate 10%. Although we are offering the in PPP model, public-private partnership, that is DBOOT, design, build, own, operation and transfer, period of the 30 years from the date of PDA and rent as per the government land lease procedure. Thank you. I would like to hand over this mic to Mr. Khemraj Regmi, hydropower engineer from the Department of Electricity Development.
Thank you, Rajan sir. So I'm here to present about the hydropower projects which are being studied and under the jurisdiction of the Department of Electricity Development. So I will present for 5 projects. I think the hydropower sector is the sector in which the PPP model is best practiced in Nepal. And I have here 5 projects. The first project is Humla Karnali hydropower project. This project is of capacity 61 megawatt, and this lies in Humla district, and it will harness the energy of the Humla Karnali river in its upper reach. It's shown in the slide. You can see that the project total energy is 390 gigawatt hour, out of which about 37% energy is in dry season. And going to the financial part and its cost, the project will cost about 14.6 thousand million in Nepali currency and about 109 million US dollar. Going to its financial factors and parameters, the project IRR is estimated to be about 12%, exactly 11.77%, and payback of 11 years, and benefit cost ratio of 1.17. Most of the hydropower projects are being developed in boot model, one of the PPP modalities, and this project is also conceptualized to be built up in boot model also. Going to the project's status of the project, the project study, feasibility study of the project has been completed in December 2023, and its environmental study also completed in the same date. And the EOI has been published for this project. Going to the next project, this project is Kawadi Khola hydropower project. It is of capacity 30 megawatt. It is identified in the Kawadi Khola, which is the boarding river of Bajura and Humla district, and its energy is about 185 gigawatt hour. I'm talking about the annual energy, and out of which about 36% energy is will be in dry months. And about its cost and project financial factors, the cost is about 6,409 million NRS, which is equivalent to 58.26 million US dollar. And going to its financial IRR, it is about 12.21%, an attractive one. Talking about the payback period and benefit cost ratio, payback period is estimated to be 10 years and benefit cost ratio of 1.23. The project, this project is also conceptualized to be built up in boot model. And talking about its status of study, the feasibility study of this project has been completed in 2020 June, and the same date for the environmental study. And this project also has been floated for the expression of interest. The next one, Super Budi Gandaki hydropower project of capacity about 35 megawatt, exactly saying 34.93 megawatt. And this project is identified in Budi Gandaki river. It's in its upper reach. And this project lies in the Gorkha district. Talking about its energy, annual energy is 83 gigawatt hour, and about 30.35% of energy will be in dry season. About its cost and financial factors, the cost is estimated to be 7,000 million NRS, which is equivalent to 55.54 million US dollar, and its financial indicators, IRR of 12.63% and benefit cost ratio of 1.18. The project is conceptualized with the same concept boot model to develop. And about its study status, the project feasibility study has been completed in will be completed in July 2024, and estimated its EIA environmental study to be completed in the same date. This project also has been in the EOI list. Next is Tomnagar Burigandagi hydropower project. It is of capacity 40 megawatt. This project is near to this previous project, Super Burigandagi project. This is also in the upper reach of Burigandagi river. And talking about its energy is about 233 gigawatt hour, out of which 31.5% will be in dry season. Its cost and financial indicators, cost will be about 8.7 thousand million NRS, and which is equivalent to 66.49 million US dollar. Its financial indicator, IRR, is said to be 12.4%, and with equivalent benefit cost ratio 1.23 and payback period of 6.58. The same boot modality has been conceptualized for the development of this project too. Talking about its status of study, its study is estimated to be completed in July 2024, like in Super Burigandagi, and the same date has been estimated for the completion of its EIA environmental study. The next one, Upper Chamelia hydropower project of capacity about 54 megawatt. This is in Darchula district of Sudur Paschim province. And this project will have annual energy generation of 319 gigawatt hour, out of which about 34% will be in dry season. Talking about its cost and financial parameters, the cost will be about 11.9 thousand million NRS, and which will be equivalent to 90.3 million US dollar. And its project IRR will be about 12.21%, with equivalent payback period of 6.39 years and benefit cost ratio of 1.31. The same modality boot is conceptualized for the development. About its study status, the project study is estimated to be completed in April 2024. It is near date. And about its EIA study, it has been completed in January 2024. All these 5 projects has been listed in EOI call. You can visit the EOI portal of IBN website, and you can go for this project if you are interested in. Now I will call Mr. Shankar South, hydropower engineer from the same organization, Department of Electricity Development, to present for large hydropower projects which are under the jurisdiction of IBN. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Shankar Bahadur Saud, hydropower engineer at Department of Electricity Development. So I am going to present the 4 projects which are studied by Department of Electricity Development, but they are called for EOI from IBN because they are of capacity greater than 200 megawatt. The first project is Naumure Multipurpose Project. The combined capacity of the project is 281 megawatt. The project is the storage multipurpose type project. The dam of the project will be constructed in the West Rapti River, 1.5 kilometer downstream of the confluence of Mari and Jimruk River. It will be a 169 meter high CFRT dam. And from that Naumure storage project, 218 megawatt hydropower will be developed. After that Naumure storage project, a second hydropower project will be a Lamatal re-regulating hydropower project, which will develop 8 megawatt hydropower. And after that, the water will be diverted to Kapil Vastu for irrigating approximately 29,000 hectares area for irrigating the area in the Kapil Vastu district. And that project will generate 54.7 megawatt hydropower. So there are 3 projects in Naumure multipurpose scheme. Naumure storage hydropower project 218 megawatt, Lamatal hydropower project 8 megawatt, which is a re-regulating type project to maintain the flow in West Rapti River for irrigation purpose, as well as to divert the flow for irrigation in Kapil Vastu area. And the third one is Surainaga hydropower project, which is diversion from West Rapti to the Kapil Vastu to generate 54.7 megawatt hydropower capacity. The total energy from all 3 hydropower projects is 1275.71 gigawatt hour. It is the annual saleable energy after deduction of all outages from the project. And out of that, the wet season energy is 61.24% and dry season energy is 38.76%. This energy can even be increased because in Nepal, while planning for storage hydropower projects, we generally focus on the dry season energy, because in the wet season we can even supply the load from ROR projects. So our criteria by NEA for PPA is that a project must qualify 35% dry energy criteria, which limits the wet season energy. So if we can manage the market for energy sale outside the country, like in India or any neighboring countries, we can increase the energies even more than that. So a financial analysis of the project also was conducted, and the financial analysis shows that the project cost is approximately 125 billion Nepalese rupees. The financial analysis was conducted at a soft loan of 2% interest rate with debt equity ratio of 70-30, and it shows that the project IRR is 9.49%, which is marginally feasible. The economic IRR is 10.446, which shows that the project is economically feasible. Financially, the project is marginally feasible. The benefit cost ratio is 1.31, and debt service coverage ratio is 1.31. The pre-feasibility study of the project was conducted by multiple organizations, and finally DOAD conducted the feasibility study, which was completed back in June 2022, and EIA was also completed in June 2022. So the project is called for EOI by IBN. And about the development progress of the project, Department of Electricity Development has already set up the office for the project and started the pre-construction activities. The pre-construction activities are already being constructed by DOAD. The project has already initiated its construction stage. The next project is Khemti Those Sivalaya hydropower project of 1216 megawatt capacity. The prominent features of the project is that it is basically designed to generate energy in dry season, prominently in dry season. As you can see from the energy table, 94% of the energy will be generated in dry season. This project is planned considering the load deficiency in dry season in our energy system. So 94% of the energy will be generated in dry season, and 5.92%, approximately 6% will be generated in wet season. So the project is proposed in the Khimti River. It will be developed with a concrete dam of approximately 280-meter high concrete dam. And the capacity will be 1216 megawatt, and the annual energy generation is 1411.35 gigawatt hour. So according to the interim design report or interim level study of the project, the cost of the project is 289 billion Nepalese rupees, which is equivalent to 2180.36 million US dollar. The payback period of the project is slightly higher, 19.31 years, and economic IRR from the project is 12.15%. So the project feasibility study of the project is ongoing. The interim level design is completed, and the feasibility and EIA of the project is expected to be completed in September 2024. And at the same date, EIA and feasibility will be is estimated to be completed. So basically, this project is necessary for our energy system because it will generate energy in the dry season. Most of the energy will be generated in the dry season. So it is important in our context because it will reduce the energy import from India. The another project is Kalingandagi 2 Storage Hydropower Project. It was identified by Gandak Basin Master Plan in 1979. And after that, DOED is conducting feasibility study of the project. This project consists of a 155-meter high CFRD dam. It is proposed to be constructed with CFRD dam of 155-meter height. And the dam will be located approximately 25 kilometers upstream of the Devghat in Kalingandagi River. The dam will be constructed in the Kalingandagi River. And the powerhouse will be constructed at the dam too. The project will generate 650 megawatt capacity with total annual energy of 3294.62 gigawatt hour. The project will generate 35.57, approximately 36% energy in dry season, whereas 64.43% energy in wet season. The same scenario is in this project also. So if we can explore the power export market in neighboring countries, we can even increase the annual energy generation that can be even more than 3294.62 gigawatt hour. The estimated cost of the project is 133 billion Nepalese rupees, and as per financial analysis of the project, the IRR of the project is estimated to be 9.7%. It is where it is marginally feasible. Benefit cost ratio is 1.09. Debt equity ratio is assumed to be 70:30, 70% debt and 30% equity, and debt service coverage ratio is 1.45. The feasibility and EIA study is ongoing and is estimated to be completed by April 2025. The next project is a Varbang Storage Hydropower Project, which is proposed to be constructed in Tuliberi River, and the project location lies in Dolpa district. It is approximately 28 kilometers away from Dunai Bazar. The nearest market is Dunai Bazar. So the project will generate 337.1 megawatt hydropower, and the annual energy generation from the project is 943.9 gigawatt hour. The prominent feature of the project is the dry energy and wet energy are almost the same. So this project is also considered to supplement the dry energy gap in our power system. So and the financial analysis of the project is also conducted. We saw that the project cost is 71 billion Nepalese rupees, and financial internal rate of return IRR of the project is 10.5%. The project is financially feasible with benefit cost ratio 1.06. And debt equity ratio assumed for the project is 7:30. The feasibility study of the project is ongoing, and the feasibility study and EIA study are expected to be completed by July 2024. Thank you, gentlemen. So For the next presentation, I would like to request Mr. Santosh Rai, Senior Officer and Project Manager, Alternative Energy Promotion Center. Thank you very much.
Namaste and very good evening to all of you who are present here with this August gathering with us today. I'm representing Alternative Energy Promotion Center, which is our government focal agency for renewable energy and energy efficiency in Nepal under Ministry of Energy, Water Resources and Irrigation. So today I am presenting you a different project, a wind power project. Here the government of Nepal has published its expression of interest EOI today itself with the aspiration to receive interesting proposals from the investors who are present here, probably the national as well as the international investors, potential investors indeed. So to begin with, so this project lies in the Sudur Paschim province in the western part of Nepal. The project site locates nearby the Karnali Bridge on the Karnali River alongside the east-west highway. It is actually 500 kilometers away from Kathmandu if you travel by vehicle. And alternatively, we can travel by air route also. By air, we have to take a 1 hour flight from Kathmandu to Nepalganj. Then it is 90 kilometers away from Nepalganj airport. So here, our idea is to showcase this new idea among the potential investors to open the avenue for harnessing wind potential in Nepal. As we all know that we have already harnessed solar potential here in Nepal. Hydropower is the most potential of the energy resources, clean energy sources of Nepal. We have already harnessed a lot of hydropower potential in Nepal. We have completed few solar projects already, and this will be the first wind project here in Nepal, which will be grid-connected one. We have done small projects, but we have not done grid-connected wind projects yet. So if you see the financial indicators, this might not be attractive to you for the potential investors because to begin with, the government of Nepal has offered with this initial offering to you, which shows not much attractive in my understanding, in my perception, not much attractive to the financial perspective, but it can be very attractive if you see with the economic perception, with the lens of economic feasibility, and also with the social and environmental benefits. The government of Nepal wishes to do this project with the public-private partnership approach, partnering with the potential investors and, if possible, with the development partners. Here, our idea is to do this project, implement this project with the public-private partnership, with the funding from the leveraging fund from the private sector, along with the interest buy-down, interest subsidy from the government side. No. It's in reverse. Down. Not working. This one? Okay, thank you. Sorry. No. So with this, I hereby request the potential investors, the distinguished guests who would be interested to join hands together with the government of Nepal. Please come up with your proposals. For initial offering, we have come up with these offerings, but I hope we can negotiate. You can negotiate with the government of Nepal to make it a feasible project to implement later. So thank you all for hearing. I hereby now invite Ayushi Koirala, who is representing IVN, Investment Board Nepal. Thank you all.
Thank you. Namaste, everyone. I'll be very quick with my presentation. Today, I'll be talking about relevant laws governing investment. So let me just get to the presentation. So here's a list of laws that regulate investment in Nepal. So there's Foreign Investment and Technology Transfer Act, and there's Public-Private Partnership and Investment Act, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, and there's the Company Act, Income Tax Act, Labor Act, and there are also other sectoral acts. Also, there's Environment Protection Act. These are major acts governing, regulating investment in Nepal. And so investment, so the word investment, what does it mean? So where all can you invest? How can you invest? So investment can be done in shares, loan, technology transfer, lease finance, and there's also a provision for establishment and expansion of branch and venture capital fund, and others are as specified in the relevant laws. So moving on to my next slide. So there's a list of restriction on foreign investment where certain industries and businesses have been restricted and they've been listed out, such as poultry farming, personal service business, industry producing arms and ammunitions, and other similar substances and materials, real estate business, travel agency involved in tourism, publication, media house, and there's also educational consultancy. I think this has some exception. I think we're done here. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you all for being here with us today. And by this, our presentation ends. So I would like to invite you all to join the stall outside and gather information on the project. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, especially to this pool of experts. Ms. Ayushi, if you could join in one more time for a quick group photograph again. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our pool of experts for running us through the central highlight of this entire summit. I'm sure you would have queries, questions, and comments to make on this. The Secretariat is more than welcome to entertain all of those at any point of time. For the moment, I think we should call it a day. It's been a pretty long day today. To the experts, thank you so much, and also to the members in the audience, thank you for your kind attention and for your patience. So tomorrow is going to be a fresh and a new day, wherein we'll be part of almost 12 sessions and side events. We will be beginning at 10 a.m. right here at this very particular venue. The sessions will be split into 4 and will be running 4 sessions parallelly. So you might want to come a little earlier, maybe around 9:30, to find the session of the panel of your choice and enroll yourself to it. So 10 a.m. is where we begin the panel tomorrow. We expect you at least by 9:30 just to run through what's going on around, and also please do not forget to run through the stalls, more than 20 plus stalls that is put up outside. For today, one more time, thank you very much. We will now be meeting at the networking dinner at this very venue. So until we see you tomorrow, have an enjoyable evening. Thank you for being a great audience.